at us. Careful, careful. See him? I don't know what happened there. Really nice 8-pointer runs it behind here. Good. Crazy. Deer coming right here.
I just pulled out of the little place I'm staying at here to go hike into my first spot here in North Dakota. It's 29th of October. It looks like it's December already. It's crazy. I'm hunting public land on this trip. I've got a couple of waypoints dropped on like what should be killer pinch points. And these bucks should just be cruising, and I'm gonna go volume hunt these spots. So the place I'm going to right now is along a river, but connects some bigger chunks of timber. And I hunted it 4 years ago and killed a pretty good buck in there. And I'm just like dying to get back there. I haven't been back here. I've only hunted here one time, but I am like really, really excited for this hunt. Everybody I know is out hunting deer and they're covered in bucks that are chasing and fired up. And this weather is like, you couldn't draw better kind of pre-rut rolling into the rut type of weather. I think it's gonna be worthwhile over here.
Look at this. I'm trying to stick to my plan. But man, there's like a bunch of fresh deer tracks in here. 2 scrapes, licking branches right here. Now I'm really questioning if I need to keep going. I can see another scrape, a rub, and there's acorns all over right here. Man, this is encouraging.
Every few seasons, I relearn the lesson that you never walk past a ton of fresh deer sign just to stick to a plan you made before gathering some fresh intel. That thought rattled around in my brain as I walked away from those scrapes and rubs and tracks and all of those acorns scattered all over the ground, just waiting for a buck to nose them up.
Just got set up in North Dakota. It's October 29th. It's maybe 25 degrees. It is cold. And man, this spot is just like, I haven't been this excited to sit in a tree stand in a while. I have a funnel here where this bluff along the river necks down. And in this funnel, I have this pinch point right over here where this little drainage pinches up against the fence line and the top of this ridge. When I walked in about halfway back here, there's a giant oak tree and they are just scratching up acorns underneath it like crazy. But I'm real curious to see what happens here tonight anyway. Etiquette on his part. I don't know how this guy drove in here. He clearly knows something I don't know because I walked a long ways to get here. But, you know, it's public land. Waved to get his attention and he gave me a thumbs up and left, which is like what you should do. I mean, that's what I would do in a heartbeat if I saw somebody in here. So that was cool that he did that. I feel bad that he, wanted to come in here or not, but hopefully he's a local and he's got a backup spot here somewhere he can go to. That's always such a wild card on public land. Is like, it's hard to go into this situation and treat it like you're on a private land hunt. So my standards are like, I'm not sure where they're at. They were a little higher 2 hours ago, and now they're leveling off to decent buck status, I think. I'm still only a couple hours into this hunt. I got a lot of time. There's a deer right there. Good. I don't really know what happened there. I'm just shaking. I looked down through the brush here and there was a deer walking up. Really nice buck. But I shot over him. And I don't really know what happened now that I look at what I shot through. It's open, but it's a small window. And I kind of wonder if I just clipped something a little bit. I don't know. But I'm just shaking. I can't believe that happened, and I can't believe I missed him. And I don't know what happened. It sounded weird when I shot.
Meat.
I don't know what happened there. And as I'm explaining it, a really nice 8-pointer runs in behind here, sees us, gets wiggy. I got drawn on him and I tried to stop him because he looked like he was going to take off. And you know, he was super keyed up, so as soon as I merped at him just a little bit, he took off, but he was like 10 yards broadside. So that's 2 big bucks in like 5 minutes. Just about out of light here in this night. I don't really have anything to say other than I made 2 really dumb mistakes on 2 really good deer. And now they're both out here alive and I'm up here cold and down 1 arrow and feel like an idiot. But man, what an amazing 5 minutes that was on public land. I mean, I would take those 2 encounters an entire season, and they happened on the first sit. So cool. I'm gonna go warm up and come right back here in the morning. I might ride this out all week, I don't know.
Prime time. I missed a buck last night. Watched the footage. I shot too high. That deer dropped like crazy. I'm gonna head right back in there this morning. I actually think this morning, or mornings in there, should almost be better as long as I don't get busted going in. The downside of that is it's really crusty and crunchy out, and I feel like I'm gonna get busted going in. But I don't know. We have like 17-degree weather, little snow on the ground. It's October 30th. I'm pretty excited to get back in there and see how it goes.
I thought when I got up this morning I might be suiting up for an all-day sit. I packed some extra food, something to drink. So yeah, maybe if I'm feeling it. What I'm feeling right now is hypothermia. I still think there's a pretty good chance a buck will come through in the next hour and a half, but there's no way I'm sitting all day. I haven't decided if I'm going to drop down here and look at this bottom a little bit, or just go get out, warm up, have a sandwich, and then come back out. I don't know.
After 5 hours of no deer, nonstop wind from the north, and the sinking feeling that I had burned through my good luck for the trip in one 5-minute mistake-filled time span, I decided to get down and go take a closer look at the area where I found all of the sign the previous day, if for no other reason than to just warm up a little bit and to try to recalibrate myself to the conditions and the land and just the process of how I would get another one into bow range.
I have weird feelings about this. I wandered around here for a long time. This happens to me a lot on private land. It happens to me a ton on public, where I find a spot where the deer are, and there's no good trees. And I looked at every one of them. So now I'm tucked in here in a little ground blind in this just patch where they didn't graze it. So there's pretty good brush cover in here. There's jumped like 6 pheasants walking in here. They're tucked in out of this wind. Quite a few little rubs in here. Tons of sign under this oak here. So I feel like I might see a deer, might see a buck tonight, or have a doe drag a buck through, but I feel like it's going to be in about 6 hours. Trying a weird one right now, but maybe it'll work. It's almost 3:30, and now I'm feeling it a little bit. I'm hearing roosters in this cattail slough next to me. And just looking at OnX and seeing how the land lays out a little bit is kind of giving me a little more confidence. And then the weather's changing. It's kind of been a little bit partly cloudy today, a little bit of sun coming through here, but now it's cloudy. And there's supposed to be some snow coming in. I think snow would help me a lot. Down to the last hour. That wind is cooking now. Wow, it's so cold. This is a long day, and I'm just kind of hoping I get rewarded for my patience here. Deer coming right here. Buck. Yep. Just get ready. He's coming right at us. Careful, careful.
Me.
I think I drilled him, right? Holy cow. I'm so freaking pumped. I'm down to like the last, 20, 25 minutes. And I was just thinking, like, I'm going to sit out here all day in this cold and blank from dark to dark. And then I looked up and see this nice buck. He's not a giant. He's like a nice 8-pointer for public land. I'll take him. And he came down just from a direction I didn't really expect, but maybe. and walked into 30 yards, and I think I drilled him. It felt pretty good, looked pretty good. Took off like a rocket this way, and I'm just like out of my mind. Like, I'm so happy. But now I'm like second guessing it, like, was the hit good enough? I just want to go find that arrow and just like start tracking him.
Bow hunt long enough, and you'll ask yourself the question, how long should I give him? The post-shot variables that come into play should dictate your answer. But unless you watch him fall, it always comes with a mixture of apprehension, second guessing, and the feeling that you had better go real slow, be quiet, and believe what the first 50 or 100 yards of that blood trail shows you. Because the spoor always tells the truth.
Look at this, Dylan. Right here. Yes. Oh, man. He's a 9-pointer. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's cool. Oh, no, he's a 10. He's got a little crab here. Dude. We did it, buddy. Man, smoked him. Like, I know it's like cliched, but I just like, I feel so lucky to get to hunt deer on public land and just have a chance to like encounter these dudes is so cool. This deer is, I mean, he's not that big. He's a really cool character. He's a 10-pointer on public land, but I'm just like so happy and content. Like, I love the venison so much, and just the challenge of like, go someplace new and figure them out. And then, you know, the weather screws you up and somebody walks in and you're just always like, what's the next move? What's the next move? And then you sit there all day, no deer sightings, you know, freezing your ass off. And then look up and here comes this dude walking through the brush and just walks in like they're supposed to. I'm just so happy. Oh man, he's so cool. I just popped that first shoulder off, just whole, quartered like an elk or whatever, to get it inside to keep it a little bit warm so I can cut it up more. And then, you know, if you don't really know what to do cutting up a deer, I mean, you basically kind of just got to feel around and get in the seams here and peel off these whole muscle groups and know like where a roast is here, you know, to cut in, get that off. And it's intimidating to a lot of people, but it's not that difficult. And you really, even if you screw it up, you just have smaller chunks of meat. So I just think this is like such an important part of the process to learn. Take something like that, and then you've got that great big roast right there. One of the things that just always think about is the reason that I killed this buck is walking in, found a whole bunch of sign under this one lone oak tree, 3 scrapes. So you know there's does coming in there too, and bucks, because they're not gonna lay down a scrape line like that unless the ladies are in there. And you look at the ground and there's tracks everywhere and you see acorns on the ground and you're 15 degrees. Those deer they're gonna carve up somewhere. They're gonna eat. And when you find something like that in the moment, even though you're like, the ruts should be on, or the pre-rut, they should be cruising, I should be on that pinch point. It's like, if they show you that sign and then you see a deer like we did, a big one eating acorns, it's like, maybe adjust your strategy because they're showing you what they want right now. And I second guess this stuff all the time. I know a lot of people do, but sometimes they just give you all the answers and through their sign. And if you kind of learn to pay attention to that, you know, at your home farm, or if you travel and do this kind of hunt, it can really put you on the action now instead of thinking like, I know what the deer should be doing.
they're showing you what they are doing. It's so important. One of the things I like to do if I have the time is go look at where he came from, what he was doing, and just kind of like reverse engineer the hunt. So I'm gonna do that. There's a couple spots I wanna look at back here just because I have kind of a free play now. And so I'm gonna walk in, look at the river, grab those stands, and then just check out this patch of timber that buck came from.
As a young hunter, a dead deer was the measure of success. Eventually, that wasn't good enough, and it had to be a dead buck, preferably a big one. At this stage in my life that I'm in now, I can feel so much of that stuff just sort of falling away. What I really want out of a hunt now is to try to solve the riddle of where are they and how do I get close to them, all while spending time in an environment that just speaks to me.
I'm on my last walk out here in North Dakota, and if you look around, this just doesn't look like typical whitetail stuff, to a lot of people. But that's why I love it. If you want to get better at whitetail hunting and really enjoy it, go hunt a different environment. Go from the big woods to the sand hills, kind of plainsy stuff. It's so fun to get out of your element and see how these whitetails thrive in these different environments. I just love it so much. This is like the last thing I'm gonna do on this trip. Cook up some tenderloins, eat them, maybe watch a little TV and go to bed. And it just feels like such a good cap to the end of this hunt that's been so freaking fun. It just makes me want to come back to these sand hills. This is just a cool place to be. I just love it.